Alex, Portland stagecoach Bruce Barnum told the media today that in this game he expects he might even have 3 quarterbacks on the field at the same time. Have you ever seen a look like that?
Really haven't. I mean, like anything, you got to respond to what they do. But there's not a magic answer for it. So we'll handle it as we see fit once we see how they line up.
Have you had to work with the scout offense on replicating some of that stuff in practice?
Well, we always work on some level of trickery, whether a double pass or some type of halfback pass, something along those lines. But it's hard to prepare for the unknown, so we'll trust our rules and go.
Any other characteristics of their offense that stick out to you?
Well, I think that they do a number of things well. They do a nice job of making the gap sound in the run game. They'll attack you vertical in the passing game, and they got athletic quarterbacks, so it really poses a real challenge for defenses.
You look at a school with fewer resources. I think a layman automatically thinks less talent, but is there anyone on that team or that offense that you think could compete at the Pac-12 level?
Well, it's a talented team, and I've coached at that level and beat Northwestern and was part of the team that beat Marshall and beat Army. So I've been on the other end of it and came out with victory. So certainly by no means do I think they're going to come up here and be wide-eyed by us.
First game here, what's kind of feeling like for you?
Obviously I think everybody we're anxious to get going. It's that time of year to play somebody else. Like anything, thrilled for the opportunity, but we got to have a good plan together for our players, and they got to go out there and execute. So all in all, it comes down to playing the game on Saturday.
What's made the run game so effective?
Say it again.
What's made the run game?
Well, between they'll formation you, so they do a good job of not keeping it simple for us as defensive coaches and our personnel. They execute some quarterback run game, which adds a level of difficulty. Anytime you got to defend all 11 guys, it's essentially how you look at it. And then they got some playmakers. I mean, you go see explosive plays on film. You can go back to their Cal game from 2 years ago, where they were putting the 2 Cal for the bulk of that game. You go back to the Oregon State game last year, explosive plays, and even against Washington State last year, we were able to get the explosive plays. So they do a nice job that way. So we got, like I said, a real challenge.
What have you seen as the biggest area of growth? Defense as a whole, but I guess particularly in the secondary through the course of time.
Well, I think an understanding that a number of responsibilities to keep the ball in front, and like anything, camp's one thing. We don't get the preseason like the NFL. So what we did in camp at this point doesn't matter yet because it gives us a building block. But ultimately, we got to show well on Saturday. But the trust level in the guys has certainly gone up since spring.
Early start time for this game, season opener. Does anything change for you guys in the preparation?
No, I think everybody's, like I said, anxious to play. I think you guys, all these guys, it's eat some eggs, go play some football, and that's exactly how I think most guys want instead of hanging in a hotel all day. So I think we'll be jacked up, ready to go, and I'm sure Portland State will be too.
What's been the progress of the defense throughout camp? What have you seen as kind of the biggest improvement?
Well, I think there's a number of things. I think from an effort standpoint, we're finally at the point where I think we give ourselves a chance. We give ourselves a chance. When me personally, I don't make the right call or the perfect call. Not that there ever is one, but certainly what we can't do is be when we guess right, we're a good defense. When we guess wrong, we're a poor defense. So I think what you found is we're limiting the explosives, limiting some of the bad plays, and a lot of that defensively. That's exactly what it is. It's not that you're not going to have a bad play, but how bad you're going to make it. So I think we've improved in that area. And that might be a little bit of a low bar right now, but that's where we started from, and obviously we're going to continue to improve.
Granted, they only allowed something like 10 sacks last year,
yeah.
A really, really low number. Obviously, that's last season, but how impressive is that number, and how important is it for you guys to change that this game?
Well, exactly right. I mean, they do a nice job. All the quarterbacks that played last year. And watching their guy this year, who's obviously a junior college transfer, all mobile guys. And so what they do is, if you're in a position to make a play, you better make it. If you don't, they're going to get away from you real quick. So, not dissimilar to a lot of, again, mobile quarterbacks that we'll see you know, in our conference around America, and they have several. I mean, it speaks to the fact that they're able to move them to other positions on the field. You know, speaks to their athleticism.
Are you anxious to see these guys go up against someone else, and even just what you can take away from a different opponent?
Well, absolutely. I mean, again, it's time. I think they're itching to do it on both sides of the ball. Obviously, our offense and speaking specifically to defensively, it's that time of year. We played a lot of air raids so far, so now it's time to see something else.
Alex, just on a personal note, I'm sure you've been dreaming of the day you were a defensive coordinator at a major program for a long time, and now that it's about to happen, do you take a moment on that day and kind of reflect on that?
I really don't. It's coaching ball. You know, at one point, you know, I never coached a game before. Eventually, you've coached the game. At one point, you never coached the secondary. Then you coach the secondary. So, you know, until you've done it, you haven't done it. You know, no one was born a head coach, and no one was born a coordinator. So, these guys expect me to, you know, obviously have a good plan in place and do my job on Saturday and plan to do it.
You guys good?
Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.